We're back one more time. Seven Rivers Racing here in KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyke along with Al Losi. Lonnie Jr., Lonnie Sr., the Crazy Frogs are in the house joining us in the program. And do want to remind you, I came across this today, Al. I'm going to have you read this right here. We're not at the end of the race season yet. We've got about maybe a quarter of the way of the season to go.
Right.
And then the cars get put away and nobody does anything. Tell me if that's, read this aloud and then tell me how important that is.
Drivers, have you begun working on next season yet? You should be. It's never too early to get your marketing proposals and press releases lined up. Grab one of the many companies that specialize in that and get the word out there about your race team and sponsors. This is very true. You got to start working on things now or even a month ago for next year. In fact, that's what we're working on too.
I mean, if you got sponsors on your cars right now, I mean, the Woods have quite a few of them on there that have been very supportive of what they've been doing the past 3 years at lacrosse. It sounds kind of silly because you're thinking about next year already. If you got sponsors on that car, you might want to try to nail them down right now because it gives you a lot of flexibility to try to find more as budgets get set and January and February starts rolling around. And you know, a lot of guys just dump the cars off in the snowbanks and pull them out later on. This is a really neat thing to do. Start working on next year right now. And
that's very true. In fact, you could probably approach 10 people and only one of them is going to end up on your car. Well, I'm not going to say anything about what we've got going right now, but things do happen sometimes with large sponsorships, and then you work on them over the course of a number of months and sometimes years to get them on your car, and you've really got to work hard to promote that company. Just putting it on the race car isn't a sponsorship deal. You've got to be able to promote them. You've got to take them to the shows. You've got to be able to get out there. We go to the Boy Scouts we're very involved with, and our sponsors, we get them involved with them. Autism walks we're involved in, and those are the things that help you get your sponsorship.
Now, when you look at having teammates here, and you guys are in the same facility, you work on your cars together, and when you talk sponsorships, is it easier or harder to get a family sponsorship because there's two of you?
Well, it's a little bit easier because you're getting double sponsoring, and plus our cars goes in parades. We go to Lawrence Cranfest Parade, and we do the Tomah Parade. We go to New Lisbon Parade. So we go to a lot of parades in that, so people sees the names in that out there, which helps out quite a bit.
And of course, you like the videotape connoisseur. I'm surprised you're not running one of our cameras in here in the studio too. And you guys videotape all those. And not only do you put them on YouTube for yourselves, but you're putting them on a car out there for your sponsors.
Oh yeah, well that's Dome Day. What we are doing, Dome Day, like GameCube or Up in the South, stuff like that, and Dome, well, man, to me more bigger, stuff like that.
Are you guys in Cranfest this year?
Yep.
Okay, because you know when you are, and I announced the parade, I'm always giving special emphasis on the Woods because they're like the only race team that joins that parade. I think that's huge because you've got 75,000 people that are in the Cranfest Parade of Warrens, and that is a hugely attended event by not only local folks but people that come out of the area, and they're seeing the sponsors on there in your cars. So I'm sure you guys appreciate that. While we're talking sponsors, if you have them by memory, who do you have on your car this year?
Well, we got Kimpton Truck Company is the main one. Then we got the bank. He's sponsoring us. We got Sonnenberg's Funeral Home. Then we got Fast Tax. And boy, I'm being arrested.
It's waiting for Mom and them.
Yeah, yell them out.
Start yelling them out, Mom.
Miller Motors.
Miller Motors.
There you go.
And
Dan Miller, Home Improvement. He helps us out.
See, that's why we have to have the rest of the family come in.
They have
Yeah, she helps us out a lot. I mean, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be out there, actually.
Well, I'll tell you, and Sandy's been racing herself. Talk about Queen Bees this year.
Yeah, she came in second place this year in Queens Bee this year. Last year she came in fourth place.
Now, why isn't she running with you guys this year? Why don't we have three Crazy Frogs running Hornets?
Well, she's out there with the little one because we got an 8-year-old yet, so she kind of stays out in the bleachers. She said when he gets up to 10, then she's out there.
Now, how many other? You guys have quite the large family and fan base out there. How many more little frogs and frogettes are we going to be seeing racing here? Quite a few in the next couple of years.
Well, Caitlin wants to come out.
Right. Now, talk to her about that.
Yeah, she's been talking. That's all she talks about, getting out there racing. So she wants to get the race cars out in the backfield and, let it go.
Caitlin's got to be one of my biggest fans. She actually stenciled my name on her wall in the house. She's got all of her favorite racers on there, and it says Radio Man Dan, which is pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
You know, besides racing, Lonnie, you got something coming up here, which I think is really cool. That this started developing about, I want to say 3 weeks to a month ago. It has nothing to do with racing. Well, besides, you're going to be representing the wood racing team.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on when you talk about wrestling.
Well, the one though is done up at the bank, the white bull veteran though, and I'm doing me out there talking on the mic down people like who walking out, how big they are, stuff like that, and it'd be too. Me and the owner of it been in and out like almost every day talking about it, and then nobody doing. It'd be dating.
You do some guest announcing, and you can be the guy that go, "Let's ready to rumble." Come, let me do that. You should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I could talk to him about it in TV day. But
Now, the other secret that you had on Facebook that we're going to release right now is that Dad's wrestling.
yes, he is.
Oh, that's right.
See?
Yeah.
See? Al and I were talking about the way over this morning in the limo. I said,
We were going to get the tickets.
Dad's wrestling. We couldn't figure out, Mom, does he look better with paint on his face or maybe a hood?
I'll be quiet.
She just wants to see him in the tights.
A bag and tights. They'd have to be obviously green. I'm sure you could find. Well, actually, you've got green tights.
Yeah, he does. He got a green outfit.
Not that I know this, they're on video. I've seen it before. So, and again, talk about your race fans. I mean, you guys have so many people that come out and sit in the lily pad with you guys each and every race weekend. And it doesn't matter if you take 1st, 5th, or 20th. It's just the fun atmosphere you guys bring out there.
Yeah, we try to make best as possible. He tries to make makes the whole racing is all completely fun.
But he's the only guy that can actually wave. He could be the last lap. He could be in running 16th place, and he's still waving at people in the grandstands. Is it something that makes it a little bit more competitive for you? I mean, you're racing against Dad, number one, and you guys want to beat each other on any given night. But the actual thrill of just being a race car driver, I mean, I can see that in you.
Oh yeah, well. Anyway, the dating more like don't do the race track, more like that's why I like to do the race track. I feel like by my time like they're all far off and after, and then you see all people in the fan like doing for you, do more IND was, and it's just really fun being out there.
Anything besides Hornets? You guys ever going to race Thunderstocks, late models?
Well, weight mile, I've been thinking about doing weight mile, but weight mile just one day and earn it, and that's the other way there.
Alrighty, well, Lonnie Wood Jr., Lonnie Wood Sr., you're going to see him coming up this weekend with a handful of races left in the Hornet class. I think that's an exciting class. You talk about 3, 4, 5 wide racing, and whether they're out there for the fun of it, just to be racing. I mean, these guys exemplify what I would term a race driver / race fan sitting in the car at the same time.
And that's what makes the Hornets perfect. It's not very expensive to get into. Almost anybody can get into it for a few $100s, and it's just a thrill to be out on the racetrack.
Well, you're going to see them doing that again this weekend, and who beats who? Who's got more wins, you or Dad?
You do.
Well, when are you going to do something? You introduced him into racing, but he's got more wins. That's not right.
Well, you more than take it easy on these more older people.
Oh, yes, we're going to let them play out. They're going to fight in the car on the way home. All right, folks, Wood Racing, they're one of my favorite groups out there at the racetrack when it comes to Hornets, and they've got a whole bunch of people. Ask permission, and Mom might let you, or Silver might let you sit down in the lily pad and join them on camera or for a race. That's going to do it for today's program. Again, remember the benefit coming up at the Home American Legion on September 16th for Jason Dummer and his entire family. I know Al, hopefully the state can get the car out there.
And we should be able to. We need to get a hold of them and see how it works out.
You have to get the entire Wood clan out there, and you have to have open up another buffet center because they come packing, I tell you what. For Lonnie Wood Jr., Lonnie Wood Sr., and Sandy and Silver and Baby and Tomah for camera, Al Losi, I'm Dan Diger. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with more exciting action from the La Crosse Speedway next weekend here on 7 Rivers Racing.